There's a specific way of looking at someone that can literally change their brain chemistry in seconds. Scientists have discovered that certain body language patterns trigger the same neural pathways as addictive substances. Today, I'm revealing the psychology behind the most powerful non-verbal signals that drive people absolutely crazy with desire. Stick around until the end because I'll show you the one body language trick that psychologists call the instant connection creator, and why it's so dangerous when used incorrectly. Let's start with the most powerful weapon in the body language arsenal, eye contact. But not just any eye contact. I'm talking about what researchers call the triangle technique. Here's how it works psychologically. When you look at someone's eyes for 3 seconds, then briefly glance at their lips for 1 second, then back to their eyes, you're unconsciously mimicking the visual pattern our brains associate with romantic interest. Dr. Helen Fisher's research at Rutgers University found that this specific gaze pattern triggers dopamine release, the same neurotransmitter involved in addiction. Your brain literally starts craving more interaction with that person. But here's the dangerous part. This technique works on anyone, regardless of romantic interest. It creates a false sense of intimacy that can be incredibly manipulative if used unethically. Next, let's talk about spatial psychology and the power of the magnetic lean. This is when you slightly lean your body towards someone during conversation, but not in the obvious way most people think. The key is the 15-degree rule. Lean forward exactly 15 degrees from vertical. Any less, and you seem disinterested. Any more, and you appear desperate or invasive. What makes this so psychologically powerful is that it mimics the body language we naturally display when we're genuinely fascinated by something. Mirror neurons in the other person's brain pick up on this and start firing as if they're equally interested. Studies from the University of Chicago show that when someone mirrors our level of physical engagement, our brains release oxytocin, often called the bonding hormone. This creates an artificial sense of connection that feels completely natural to the other person. Here's something most people get completely wrong: timing. The most attractive people don't just know what to say, they know when to stay silent. I call this the power pause, and it's based on psychological research about attention and desire. When you pause for exactly 2 to 3 seconds before responding to someone, several things happen in their brain simultaneously. First, they start wondering what you're thinking about them. Second, the pause creates tension that their brain wants to resolve. Third, it signals that you're carefully considering their words, which makes them feel valued. But here's where it gets psychologically fascinating. This pause also triggers what Dr. Robert Cialdini calls the scarcity principle. Your attention becomes more valuable because it appears limited and thoughtful. The most charismatic people use this technique instinctively. They understand that instant responses can make you appear too available, while thoughtful pauses create intrigue and desire. Now, let's discuss perhaps the most powerful and dangerous body language technique: strategic touch. I'm not talking about inappropriate contact, I'm talking about the psychology of brief, socially acceptable touches. Research from the Touch Research Institute shows that a brief touch lasting 1-2 seconds can increase the other person's positive feelings toward you by up to 45%. But the location and timing matter enormously. The safest and most effective spots are the forearm, the upper back during a greeting, or the shoulder when making a point. These areas are socially acceptable and trigger the release of serotonin without crossing boundaries. But here's the psychological trick that makes this so powerful. The touch should happen during emotional peaks in conversation, when someone laughs at your joke, when they share something personal, or when you make an important point. This creates what psychologists call anchoring. Their positive emotions become unconsciously associated with your touch, making them crave more interaction with you. Here's something that will blow your mind. The most attractive body language isn't about appearing confident, it's about appearing selectively vulnerable. Dr. Brené Brown's research on vulnerability and attraction reveals that people are most drawn to others who show confidence in some areas while being appropriately vulnerable in others. This might mean maintaining strong, confident posture while showing genuine surprise or delight, or speaking with authority about your expertise while admitting uncertainty about something else. The psychological principle here is called optimal distinctiveness theory. People are attracted to others who seem both capable and relatable, powerful yet approachable. The most charismatic individuals understand this paradox. Perfect confidence can be intimidating and fake-seeming, while strategic vulnerability creates emotional connection and makes your confidence appear more authentic. Let's talk about the most subtle yet powerful technique, unconscious mirroring. This isn't about copying someone's every move. That's obvious and creepy. True mirroring is an art form. The key is to mirror emotional energy and communication style, not specific gestures. If they're speaking quickly and enthusiastically, you gradually match that energy. If they're calm and thoughtful, you adjust accordingly. Neuroscientist Dr. Marco Iacoboni's research on mirror neurons shows that when we subtly mirror someone's communication style, their brain literally sees us as similar and trustworthy. The most effective approach is delayed mirroring. Wait 10-15 seconds before subtly matching their posture or energy level. This makes it feel natural rather than manipulative. Now, here's the instant connection creator I promised you, and why it's so dangerous. When you combine all these techniques subtly, the triangle gaze, magnetic lean, power pauses, strategic touch, selective vulnerability, and emotional mirroring, you create what psychologists call artificial intimacy. This combination is so powerful because it triggers multiple psychological systems simultaneously: attraction, trust, curiosity, and bonding. It can make someone feel incredibly connected to you within minutes. But here's the ethical warning. These techniques should never be used to manipulate or deceive. True charisma comes from genuine interest in others, not from psychological tricks. The most attractive people use these principles naturally because they're genuinely interested in creating positive connections. Use this knowledge to enhance authentic interactions, not to manipulate or control others. If this psychology fascinates you as much as it fascinates me, subscribe for more insights into the hidden psychology of human behavior. And remember, true attraction comes from authenticity enhanced by understanding. Which of these techniques surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments below.